ẹ jẹ́ kí n fi ojú òpó wọ̀nyí bí a ti ṣe máa ń ṣe ní agbègbè wa ní bíbáyìí torí pé ta bá ń sọ àǹfààní tí a fẹ́ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà táàrí àǹfààní ni pé kọ́mọ jí láàárọ̀ kí ó rí oúnjẹ tó máa jẹ, kí bàbá jí láàárọ̀ kó rí ibi iṣẹ́ lọ, kí ìyá jí láàárọ̀. Yorùbá ní ìmú kí yín ẹ bá wa máa pín ètò ẹ tún bá wa lọ pè àwọn èèyàn wọlé kó tún wá gbọ́ òkodo ọ̀rọ̀ ìdí tí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá lábẹ́ bàbá Akíntóyè lábẹ́ YSDM ìlànà ọmọ Oòduà ta fi ń sọ pé àjọṣepọ̀ wa àti Nàìjíríà kò ní kankan tó dán mọ́rán ju pé kólúkálukú máa lọ nílọ tiẹ̀. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ń béèrè pé tá bá kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà níbo là ń lọ. Orílẹ̀-èdè wa náà la máa bọ́ sí níbi tí ẹlẹ́dàá dá wa sí tẹ́lẹ̀ kó tó di pé àwọn ìjọba múnisìn àwọn during the colonial rule tí wọ́n dá gbogbo ẹ̀rú bí ẹsẹ̀ télọ̀. Ìdí kan tí a ṣe ń polongo Yorùbá nation kò ju pé ó máa fún wa ní àǹfààní tó pọ̀ láti lè control resources wa. Nàìjíríà ò lè work, kò sí president kankan tó lè tún Nàìjíríà ṣe àfi tẹ́ bá ń tanra yín. Yorùbá ó bẹ́tà kó dá dúró. Solution to our problems òun ni pé kí olúkálukú máa lọ. Wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ pé separation is not a war, kò kí ń ṣe ogun. Béèyàn bá náà wọ́n ṣe mọ́ kò ń ṣe dandan pé ogun ló jẹ́ sí. Kò yí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀, ìyẹn ni wọ́n ṣe máa ń bi wá pé ariwo kí là ń pa pé kí ọ̀ràn Yorùbá kó dá dúró. Ariwo tá à ń pa náà ni pé Nigeria is a failed country. Ó dẹ̀ ti fail, kò ń ṣe lénìí, kò ń ṣe Tinubu definitely ló jẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà kò fail, but ó wà lára àwọn tí ó kó bá ìran Yorùbá látara Gàmbàrí Fúlàní olórí burúkú Buhari tó lọ gbé wá ní 2015 against Jonathan. So kò sí bá ṣe fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ the destruction of Nigeria tá ní dárúkọ Tinubu. Mo ń gbọ́ tó ń sọ̀rọ̀, a máa ṣe program lé lórí dáadáa lọ́sàn-án later nípa pé àsìkò tí tó láti restructure Nigeria. The question we should ask Tinubu is when is he planning to do that? That is, if he has the intention to do that. I don't believe he has the intention to do that, but just for argument's sake. He's currently in power now for the last 9 months and nothing has changed. There's more poverty, there's more hunger, and there will be much insecurity that many people will not be able to head to the farm. As you are watching again this morning, as I show you all the time from London, the time now is coming up to 8:30. And in case you don't know who is speaking, I am not a ghost. I am not like those other that speak and they cannot bring their face out. I bring my face out because I am not scared of the government. What I'm doing has nothing to do with the government. It's my right. And my right will be respected regardless of the views of the vice president, the president, or our representative in the Southwest. I am OLAYOMI KOIKI, known as Koikimedia, the spokesman for Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho and also one of the campaigner of the Yoruba people. I understand some of you are not comfortable with my utterances. You think I sit here and I just make noise. But right now, many of you are making noise. The same noise I was making some few years ago. The weather is a bit drizzling. The few noise I was making few years ago, many of you today are now making the same noise. You are crying, you are shouting about the insecurity, the poverty. The only solution to the problem is for us to dissolve and go our separate ways. We don't like each other, but that does not mean that we cannot live together side by side. I live with different communities in the United Kingdom, whether they are Somalians, they are Bangladesh, whatever they are, we live together. We might not like each other. There's so much racism in this country, but I've lived here comfortably for the last 24 years. And I will still be here, but some of you say you cannot sit in UK and tell us we should break up away from Nigeria. UK created Nigeria, so I have every right to live in this country and say that we break up Nigeria, because Nigeria was never a country until 1914. Go and ask your grandfather. So let me turn the camera back again so that you can get some nice view of what London looks like this morning. As we say all the time, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá ní gbogbo ibi tí ẹ ti máa ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, ẹ pè àwọn èèyàn wọlé and let us watch a beautiful view again. Nothing is not beautiful, but it's just that there's a system that works. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín, you are saying that you want a good leader. Ikechukwu, thank you so much. Many of you think that it's all about leadership. You will never get a leadership because that is what the globalists want. The IMF doesn't want a good Nigeria. They don't want a good Africa. World Bank does not want a good Africa. European countries doesn't want a good Africa. We have 27 European countries. Some of them are not even up to the population of Lagos State. Yet, they are deciding our life on our behalf. Congo has a lot of resources, yet they are poor. We talk about Africa. You can see that those that have now taken control of their resources, like Niger, Mali, and I believe Burkina Faso, they are going to go very faster than Nigeria because Nigeria is a shithole country. Good morning, Mr. Simon at ABC say, comfortable laws did not come free and does not come free in UK. The UK that we are living today, America fought them in 1776 to be free. Good morning, OLAYOMI KOIKI. Good morning from the Southwest. Good morning from the Middle Belt. Tinubu is currently in Lagos. He'll be traveling to Qatar. He was in Ondo State as well. My problem is not with Tinubu. My problem is with our politicians in the Southwest that are deceiving the Yoruba people that you will live a better life. Olanikbekun, wealthy plenty, good morning to you. Abdullahi Omobalaji, good morning. Self-determination is not a crime. Free Nnamdi Kanu. He hasn't done anything wrong and he hasn't done anything against the law. Igboho is not a criminal and we appreciate what he has done and what he's still doing. Good morning, Mrs. Grace Olushoto. Good morning to the Ilana Omodua across the globe. Good morning to the YSDM, which stand for the Yoruba Self-Determination Movement. Many people ask all the time, Talon Dari Nyigongon. I see idiots come out and say, Igboho cannot be telling us what to do. No, Igboho is not telling anybody what to do. Igboho is just saying that the relationship between us and Nigeria is no longer working. As you can see, many children are heading to school, which is the normal rate. So when your family that are living in UK pray for Nigeria, ask them, are they praying for school to be open? Are they praying for you to get a job? We have recession already in UK, and UK will do everything possibly best so that Nigeria does not break. The same thing goes with America. It is entirely up to the Yoruba people to wake up now and take their resources and whatever belongs to them. Mokibuwenye Odowa, good morning, Mr. Moses Ido. We say, good morning, Baba Koiki. I love you, sir. Yoruba nation for life. Mokiawa Ajoke Yeye, Mokia Iten Darapomawa. Like I always say all the time, religion is not the reason why we are doing this. We are doing this because we want to take back the stolen identity. The British government or the British Empire, which was the era of a very, very sad time. There was trade. Millions and millions of Africa were removed from the continent and taken back to different parts of the world for slavery. You can go to Liverpool Street, not Liverpool Street, and you can go to the Slave Museum. As I speak to you today, 500 years of slavery is still affecting us as the next generation like myself have now come into UK 24 years ago and become another slave. Even though we have a better life, we eat good food, we be in the weather that wasn't convenient for us, Mr. Moses said, yes, we need to gain back the identity that was taken away from us by the British colony. Many Nigerians do not understand the whole idea of what the British have done. The British knew that the Southeast, which are the Igbos and the Yorubas, the Hausas, we are not the same. We can never be the same. But they decided to go ahead and forge a merger, which is called the fraudulent amalgamation. These amalgamation led to the creation of one Nigeria by a guy called Lugard. Lugard and the girlfriend created Nigeria, but they were taking instruction from the British Parliament. The 1953 Latin Constitution was written by the British people, not the real indigenous people. Unless we go away and go back to the roots, we can never survive as Africans. But before we talk about Africans, we must talk about individual indigenous people. 1884, there was a Berlin Conference. The problem is, Mr. Benga, they will continue to give us aid because we have our criminal politicians, whether it's Tinubu, whether it's all your governors or your representative, that continue to seek aid. We have enough resources to feed ourselves. We have everything it takes, to become an independent country. But the English people does not want that, even though the Scottish doesn't want to leave them anymore. 1701 was when UK became one body. Today, the Scottish are saying we are tired of this contraction. We want to have our own independent country. So what makes our own different? Nothing. We have the right as well, the same right that any country around the world have to self-determination under United Nations Charter. We have the same right. But Opolopomo Yoruba, they are confused. They are confused individuals because they have been told that they are Nigerians. The same lie that we were told that we have River Niger found by Mungo Park. River Niger has been there ever since, and it will continue to be there until Yoruba people wake up. You will not succeed in Nigeria, okay? It doesn't matter how much you pay, how much you invest. Your success in Nigeria will be a fluke because we cannot continue to live in denial. The first thing we want to secure is our identity. When you travel with a Nigerian passport, that is not your true identity because Nigeria is only 110 years old. My great-grandfather is older than Nigeria, and I'm sure some of you, your great-grandfather will be older than Nigeria and your great-grandmother. My question to those of you that say we should stay in Nigeria because it's a good for us, because we can become one formidable country. No, I don't want us to be in one formidable country. I want us to be like Yugoslavia that break away after almost 76 years of their union. Yugoslavia was founded in 1918, 4 years after the fraudulent 1914 amalgamation. Some of you talked about issues of 1960. I care less about what happened in 1960. I am more concerned about what transpired in 1914. Who signed the amalgamation? Who and who signed the amalgamation? Olakunle say my grandma is older than Nigeria. Miss Joy, Patricia, Uwadia, good morning. Olori Lakwe, good morning. As you are sharing the program, you are also sharing the massive. Because when you go into your religious program, they tell you to share because there's going to be grace. Well, as we march into March tomorrow, why not share this as well so that we can enlighten as many people? And nobody should be talking about Peter Obi election in 2027. It's another crime against humanity. Peter Obi is another agent working for the British, okay? So the same thing with Atiku. Atiku is ready to sell us just like Tinubu is going to sell you to France. So any of these politicians are the same puppet for the West. Their agenda is to keep us below par. Tinubu is talking about restructuring. I heard that. I'll be talking about that later on in my full program. But the question is, nobody should be talking about any more election. We come back onto the drawing table. Jonathan says the intention of the British is to keep us together. The intention of the British that they knew that we don't speak the same language. English is not our language. Yoruba The reason why I'm speaking English is just to carry the international audience. When I start speaking Yoruba, most of those that doesn't understand Yoruba will get frustrated and they will leave the broadcast. It's just the normal thing. When you go to Germany, they don't speak in English, they speak in German. When you go to France, they don't speak English, they speak French. When you go to Spain, they don't speak English, they speak Spanish. When you go to Italy, they don't speak English, they speak Italian. So why then are we being told to speak in English? English is just another crime scene used for the purpose of the European countries to continue to steal our resources. Abacha took over $5 billion out of Nigeria, and yet Switzerland doesn't have much of what we have. There's enough to go around. And what do I mean by that? There's enough to go around if everybody understands what we are discussing. Mokiawa Oluwa Funkade Wole Sanu JP. Ìyá Folashade, Ire, Bamide, Eshegoni. Mr. Taiwo Omitogun said, nice one. Good morning, Mr. Koiki. Once again, if you don't know who is speaking, I bring my face into the broadcast again. I walk in Shomo but only I am not like the Think Yoruba Force. Think Yoruba Force cannot bring their face out. They hide their faces. This is my own face, and I am not Buhari double body. This is the real Koiki, okay? I didn't put on a mask, okay? I am not wearing a mask. This is me. This is me. Bomb bastards. You know, tell Think Yoruba Force to bring their face out. We need to see faces of Yoruba people that is talking. We don't need people that are in darkness, like Dukbo Nitiri. Dukbo Nitiri come and talk to you in darkness. So let's take you back again onto the, the live transmission on the street of London where we are transmitting from. As we go into the new month, I pray for us, but the problem is praying in Nigeria is not the issue. Issue now is let us dissolve all your House of Representatives. I've been dealing with the one in Lagos State. Every one of them are criminals. They keep saying that they are representing Yoruba people. They are not representing Yoruba people. They are representing their own family. They are representing their own organization. And the fraud in Nigeria will not stop. Good morning, Mr. Yemi Fatoke. Good morning once again as you're joining. Share the program and invite your friends. Endeavor in Kano, the criminal. To my left is a church. The church is closed. Nobody is in there. To my left, there's a church there. That is a church. Okay, that church is closed. Nobody is in the church. Everybody goes to work. Pastor goes to work. Everybody goes to work. It is only in Nigeria that we've taken advantage of religion. But we are not here to fight about religion. We're here to fight about our freedom from the slavery that the British did to us after over 500 years. Some of us that have lived there, they have no choice. They can moan, they can complain. Yes, Mr. Sampson said restructuring is too late. Even the Northerners don't want restructuring. But Tinubu is talking about restructuring when he traveled to Ondo State yesterday. Mr. Sampson Bayo. I don't have any issues if people want to live in the north, but I have problem when the north use Sharia to operate, and that is something that we are concerned about. I have problem with the Fulanis. Yes, I have problem with the Igbos that are doing double or fake drugs or fake products, just like I have problem with the Yorubas that are doing ritual and killing themselves. All these are issues that we can deal with. The first thing we should all be discussing is how do we come into a total dissolution? Is it going to be by peace or by war? Many Yoruba people does not want a war because they don't understand that you are already at war. World War III is already being played out around the world, depending on where you are looking at. Ukraine and Russia fight is never going to end because America does not want it to end. America just released another $90 billion, I believe, or 90 trillion, split between Ukraine and Israel. Palestine fight is never going to end. It will continue forever. Sudan will continue to fight. Ethiopia will continue to be a war. World War III is already being played out as we speak right now. I have a lot of people that will be doing all kind of analysis. Hey, Tinubu's economy is going to work, blah, blah, blah. It's not about Tinubu. Nigeria has been down since 1960. Nigeria was never won before 1914. Tinubu added to the sour of Nigeria because Tinubu paid Buhari to become the president for 8 years. Buhari, the evil man, the one that wanted to assassinate Nnamdi Kanu, the one that wanted to assassinate Sowore, the one that wanted to assassinate the Jaden. You don't have to agree with every one of them. Even if Buhari have his means, he will assassinate Aisha Yusuf. Every human life matters. Where is Daddy Yati? We should be asking mixed onion. You say, so we're in London somewhere complaining about slavery that UK did in Africa. You could always move to another country. I don't have to move to another country. I live here and I'm going to break Nigeria from here just as British created Nigeria. Bomb bastard. Idiot. So let's continue. We have so many ignorants, that doesn't know what the slave have done. Yes, I mean, what I am enjoying today, you cannot enjoy it. They don't burn your papa well. The kind of enjoyment where they enjoy it, Mokia Mighty, Eniola. The kind of enjoyment I do in life here, you cannot, they don't even burn your papa well. The same British that created Nigeria will not allow you to wear the same uniform like this. They're not born your papa well. If you try to wear this in Nigeria, the same country that British created, you'll be in problem. You will be in big soup if you try it, because they'll be asking you, are you a military man? Why are you wearing this? But one thing, let's come to my face. Let's leave the screen at the front. What most of you don't understand is British created Nigeria and used the military to deal with you. They created Nigeria and used the Nigerian police to deal with you. During the NSAS, one of the MP made us to find out under freedom of speech that Britain supported the police in Nigeria. They were paying them. They were supporting them with equipment. Mukiyawa Rashidat, Oluwatoyin, Amida, Ekabo Surieto, Bashir Eniola, Shalafia Loa, Akuni Adojo, Moribubu, Bushen Patu, Okushe, Oku Droto Loye. At the end of the day, let's first ask this question. Why should I be dressing in this and it's not a problem? But the same country that Britain created, you cannot dress like this. And if you see the way I dress, even up to my trouser, now full military wear, the way you see, if you dress like this, because Britain knew that the Yoruba people want this kind of lifestyle. Why should you have a British passport that is far better than in Nigeria? Britain is 60 million people, okay? The whole population of this country is 60 million. So why should they be better off than us? Have you ever asked that question? Why should an American passport be better than Nigeria? If truly they wanted a better, opportunity for everybody, they want to create Africa that is not working, Africa that will be getting peanuts, even though Africa is the one that owns the resources. So what they've done is they've created all kind of different bodies. When you believe in United Nations, you are wasting your time. United Nations is a very corrupt organization. It is funded by America. So one thing most of Nigerians do not understand is most of you have been told lies by somebody like Akinwumi Adesina, the African Development President. They keep talking about, issues in Africa, but the real issue is that they've used Africa to build their own empire. British was using Africa to build their own empire. The whole wealth in this country is from Africa. But yet, they are telling you not to fight for your own freedom. So until we all seek one uniformity, come together, and fight this evil monster, some of you will be lucky, like me, to leave the offshore of Africa and travel out. But the problem is, we need to break that shithole country. Enjoy Tinubu. Let Tinubu steal as much, because Buhari stole as much. It is turn by turn. But that is not going to work. Muki Alaja Ara, Ekabo Solieto. So some of us that are now campaigning, yes, at some point, everybody wants to restructure Nigeria. But for now, it is just too late to restructure Nigeria. We don't need to restructure Nigeria to have a better opportunity. UK is 60 million, this country, yet they have gold, but they don't have the natural resources for the gold. All the gold was stolen from Africa. They have, control of our energy, determine the price. Until every Nigerians understand this, Katrina Lang, the former British ambassador, told you to get your PVC and vote. What is the end result of the vote? It has not brought anything more than mystery. Tinubu also knows that. Tinubu is a fraudster. He knows that. Tinubu is a drug dealer. We understand all that. But Tinubu is not as bad as the evil West that created the evil that is penetrated in Africa today. Tinubu did not amalgamate Nigeria. I am not here to defend Tinubu, but I am here to say that Tinubu will not be able to fix the Nigeria of your dream. What he can do now is to allow everybody to go their separate ways. And we don't need to do a referendum to that. We don't need a referendum, because when Nigeria was amalgamated, no referendum was put in the front. Nigeria was forcefully amalgamated by British in 1914, and we will forcefully break Nigeria as well, because that is their last empire. And like I said, if you don't want peace, you want war. And when the war starts, I will be coming back home. I will be returning back home to be part of that war, because the British knew that creating Nigeria was not in the interest of the Yoruba people. So creating that shithole country is frustrating not just my generation, it has frustrated the generation before me. Many of our parents are 70 years old. They can't return back home because of what the British created. And British created so much empire for 200 years. Nigeria is their last empire, and it will break. I live here. They can't do any shit to me. They know what I'm saying, because this is not about terrorism. This is about asking for the right, the same right that the Scottish people are asking for the British. They gave them referendum, but the British are very, very deceptive people. They lie. They told them that they will be part of the European Union, and they pull out in 2016. Now the Scottish people are saying they've had enough of the shithole with the UK. The Irish people fought the British for 30 years until they get what they call the Good Friday Agreement in 1997. So for some of you that are saying that sit in UK and be talking about the breakup of Nigeria, it is getting closer. Some of you will be forced to come out. Rice is now 83,000, right? I pray it goes to 200,000. The pounds will go up. Money will continue to go up. You see some of you that are sending money, you send money to your loved ones, it will not be enough, because the poverty in Nigeria is not going anywhere. You see this money, as small as this money is, you convert it today, it gives you a lot in Nigeria, but the inflation doesn't allow you to buy anything with it. Let us wake up. Nobody have your interest. If you think that the Onyibo people, right? My mom doesn't like me calling them, the other name. So only Kimakmo Olonyibo. Chera Onyibo, again so Yoruba there, kin so àwọn tó kùnú lórí broadcast. Chera Onyibo tẹ́ rí tán lọ tán lọ, kò sí tó kàn wọ́n pẹ̀lú tán lọ Nàìjíríà. Sórí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ tó ń rí àwọn jayé ayé wọn lọ. Èmi àti ẹ lájọ máa sowọ́ pọ̀. Pẹ̀lú àwọn àti àjọ fi sowọ́ pọ̀. Ẹni tó bá ní òun tí ready, ó tí ready. Kò sí kankan tó lè ṣẹlẹ̀. Kò sí tó ń bọ̀ lókè tílé ọgbà nígbà tó wá sọ́dọ̀ tiwa náà ogun ló gbé wá láti wá fi kó wa papọ̀. Tá bá ní àníṣe ní ìgbà tá máa lọ ní dáadáa àfogunjà náà ni. Ẹni máa kú, ẹni máa yè. 28,000 Yoruba people died during the tenure of the shit-old sadist Buhari. Tí kò ní kú síbi táṣù ẹ̀ wà. 28,000 Yoruba people died. I pray that Tinubu will think very fast before it is too late. But telling us that he is going to restructure Nigeria, but it's not the time. Let me say it again. Babangida and the rest of them are planning a coup. They can kill Tinubu anytime. So it's better for Tinubu to do what he needs to do if he has to do it. But the most important thing is you cannot hold Nnamdi Kanu, Ekaro, Yawabuki Gold. I'm going to be ending the broadcast very soon. Peter Pan, thank you so much. You cannot hold Nnamdi Kanu and you want peace. Release him, he hasn't done anything. Just like we have said so many times. Self-determination is our right, and that right will be respected. I remain OLAYOMI KOIKI, the last man for the Yoruba nation. And like I always say, I will not sit here in UK when the whole thing starts. 72 hours will be with you to be on the ground. But for us that are asking, what will be the way forward? Ask your criminal politicians, what are they going to do so that we can leave Nigeria to Oyo State, to Kaduna, to Ekiti State, Osun, and Ondo State, Kwara, Kogi. But they're not going to do it. Go and look at Yaya Bello and the new governor. They're already fighting. They are all criminals. Go and look at each one of the politicians. They don't want you to be free. And that is to talk to you through my platform all the time. Check it out now. Nigeria is a complete mess. The only way out is to end the shithole. Thank you so much. Have a very good morning. Later on in the afternoon, I'll be doing more program. But for now, bye for now.
W8 to Lee Valley Leisure.